Perfect. So welcome everyone. We're really happy to be here today, being part of this Blockchain Center Hackathon. My name is Luis Correa. My partner Hans is also here, and we come in representation for the Polis Blockchain team. I think, okay, perfect. The presentation is showing. So do you want to introduce yourself, Hans?
Yeah, so we're both members of the so-called DAO, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second, the Decentralized Autonomous Organization. I'm the sub-manager of Quality Assurance, and I'm advisor to the DAO board. My name is Hans Lohman.
Perfect. So I'm Luis Correa. I'm the current Technology DAO manager. It's important to understand that these are positions that were chosen by the community. So we had a voting cycle, a process, and every single DAO manager has been voted by the community. So we will talk a little bit more about the current governance that Polis has and how it will be improved once we get to Olympus. But today we will be happy to kind of show you a little bit of what Olympus currently is, what you can do to start playing with it, and how we can start imagining the future of the blockchain. So Hans, I think you know quite a lot about Polis history. So would you like to get started with this?
Yeah, let me just glimpse a little on the past and where we're going and where we came from. So Polis started out as a fork of Dash, as a lot of small masternode projects actually have. And that didn't actually go without problems, because we're a very small project. We started with proof of work, and that created issues with oscillating difficulty. There were groups that basically came in, mowed away a whole bunch of blocks, then let us stall with a long, high difficulty. So for that reason, we decided to switch to proof of stake. And that also didn't go without all the, I'd say, problems that are associated with that particular protocol. So stake grinding, those things, we've seen it all. And because of that, we're essentially now switching over to an entirely new, developed from scratch protocol that's based on a real cost for bad actors. So yeah, we've been around since 2017 and started as a fork of Dash. And where we're going is the Olympus protocol, and that is what we're going to present in this presentation.
Yeah, I would like to say that we are a community-driven project as well. So we are not, I would say, we consider the whole crypto community as part of the Polis community. So we have created a lot of technology that's open for people for other projects to get listed on. For example, I can tell you about Polis Pay, which is a current application that we have for a bunch of platforms, and that allows you to create multi-coin wallets and so on. And there's like an in-application store that you can use to purchase gift cards and so on. There's Polis Nodes. We support the hosting of master nodes from different platforms. So if you have the time, please check it out. And we recently also got into the DeFi space by listing our Grab token into Uniswap. So those are cool things that you can check out. And all of those are currently support the current Polis blockchain that Hans just described. I don't know why. Here it is.
Yeah, so that wallet that you just saw, maybe you can switch quickly back to the previous slide. That's the Polis Pay app, and as you can see, it supports multi-coin. So it is a fully fledged, fully non-custodial wallet for Bitcoin, Dash, Ethereum, Litecoin, you name it, and of course also Polis. And for the ones that are really wanting to be completely self-managed, it's all based on servers that run on Blockbook. So you can run your own backend servers if you really like to be completely self-sufficient.
Yes, so we try to create that technology that's decentralized and non-custodial as possible. So you can benefit from that, from using pretty much any of our services. Okay, so that takes us to today, right? What's Olympus? What's all of this about? So starting in late 2018, I believe, we started redesigning what we wanted for the Polis project in general. So we came out with an entirely new consensus and so on, right? We did not came on to the new consensus on our own. We based our work a lot on what Ethereum 2.0 is doing at the moment. So we ended up with a design that takes proof of stake and secures it with the Casper-friendly finality gadget. So this is the consensus mechanism that guarantees that the immutability of the chain. And it's currently supported by validators. So this is a new figure for the Polis ecosystem because it used to run on master nodes and staking nodes. And now all of that will be kind of combined into a single type of network entity, and that's a validator that is in charge of blocking for blocks and finalizing blocks. And this is the figure or the entity that gets rewarded for those blocks, and it's kind of like a similar process than mining, but the calculation and so on are quite different. So that's one of the key changes that we will face once getting into Olympus. The other thing that's kind of our thing and that we're pretty excited and stoked about is the highly functional DAO on chain. So there's a lot of blockchains that have these governance systems that allow you to fund proposals, to vote proposals and eventually fund them. But we said we looked at what we wanted Polis to be, and as we always have been a community centralized project. And we had this structure of the DAO that elects 5 DAO managers for 5 key areas. We decided to put that mechanism into the chain. So there's, aside from the proposal and so on, you have like specific cycles on chain that you can vote for candidates, that candidates are able to register, to post links to their proposals and so on. And that people can use the chain to get into these documents and vote for the person that's the best for the DAO position, right? So this is all integrated on chain. This will be open for testing in the upcoming weeks on our currently running testnet, so stay tuned for that. And also we try to create Olympus on this openness ecosystem, right? That or this open philosophy as the project has shown up until this point. So this is including modern technologies and so on. We really want to make developers interact with Olympus as easy as possible, because we know that that's essentially what gets the whole ecosystem started and going. And we want as much people joining our project as possible. I would encourage you to read our Olympus DAO manifesto. It's currently on our website, www.polispay.org. And there's also a GitHub repository where you can find it as well in there if you prefer that. I don't know if I missed anything, Hans. Do you want to add something?
Well, if you look at what's going on in the world right now, you can clearly see that the decentralized approach of things is getting more and more traction. There's so much going on where we see that centralized systems fail in some kind of way. And that can also be extrapolated even into the way that entire organizations are built. And that is the thing that we set forth with creating this structure of the DAO. And yeah, since it's a open source, completely newly from scratch developed system, everybody can contribute to this. And who knows, it might mean something for the future formation of entities, government bodies, or what have you. It's good if it's decentralized. That's what we think.
Totally agreed. And we are really excited for this development. We cannot wait to get to mainnet status, which is stated for Q1 this year. And as of right now, you are free to open our testnet. Most of the communication for this is on Discord, as you will see in a moment. So that's we get to finally the interesting part for everyone that wants to start tinkering with the network right now. We prepared a small repository on GitHub. You can get to it by finding the Olympus Protocol organization, and that's the Validator Challenge repository. I'm just gonna click on this text, and yeah, it's showing the repository. So you can find a bit of a small explanation on what validators are, what's the importance of the Validator Tracker Challenge that we are we have going on today. So yeah, I'm gonna skip a little bit of this part. The thing that I'm gonna mention is that you have a lot of useful information, and this also works as a central point for every documentation or any service that you may want to use during the development of your project. So let's get started. I want to explain. Yeah.
Yeah, keep in mind that basically everything here is developed completely from scratch, but we had it audited by a third party. So the basics of it are found to be secure. And it's not every day that it happens that an entirely new project gets developed, not as a fork, but like something forkable, let's say it that way. So can you tell a little bit what it's written in and why that was chosen?
Yeah, I mean, there's the entry point. There's a little bit about the Olympus documentation, so you can find a lot of quick start guides on how to run a node and so on. So we try to keep this up to date. So if you find any inconsistency, please tell us. But it should be pretty good to get you started. We also have. It's not going back. Okay. One more. There it is. Then we have the current the current implementation for the Olympus protocol. So this is called Ogen, and it's the main implementation written in Golang, so kind of a modern programming language. And you can find instructions. It supports Docker containerization. You can run your node quite fast, actually, even a full indexer node for a block explorer, for example. So this is quite great.
Louis, can you tell a little bit why Go specifically was chosen for this?
Oh, well, we believe that it's a pretty cool programming language, and I tried not to go fanboy all the way in this topic, but it's a pretty cool language. It's modern. It was designed around some optimization concepts, such as having similar performance to what C++ would have. And also being more, I would say, easy to write, easy to understand, easier to port. So cross-compiling is made actually quite easy. So we believe that was a cool decision to take very early on development, and we felt validated as a lot of I would say implementations for other protocols such as the Bitcoin protocol and Ethereum are starting to look into Golang implementations for the protocol. There are some official ones. If you want to take a look at them, check them out. But we believe that it's a good thing for the project to have its main implementation or its first implementation written in Go.
And so it can run essentially on pretty much any platform, ranging from a Raspberry Pi all the way to a big mainframe, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. For different architectures, RISC-V is, I think, supported. The new M1 MacBooks, it's pretty great what you can do with a language that's very portable.
Let's keep moving.
Yeah. Then we have the block explorer. You can use this. It's currently syncing to the main chain, but you can use this to track transactions and so on. It's a block explorer, so I don't want to spend a lot of time. We have the Oval Wallet, which is this extension that's running here on the top of my browser. You can install it on any Chromium-based browser. So this is Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, Chromium, the Chromium browser, and Brave browser as well. So any Chromium-based browser, feel free to add that extension. We will go through that in a bit.
And it functions sort of like a MetaMask wallet, just like people are used to, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's very similar to MetaMask. It's a little bit uglier, but the user experience is an aspect that we will continue to improve in the upcoming weeks and months. Then we continue with the, this is a GraphQL site where you will be able to query the block explorer and the block indexer. So we will go in a little bit more detail with this in a moment. And there's also some GraphQL examples of some pre-made GraphQL queries that you can start trying to test the block explorer and so on. The last thing that I want to mention, and we will show you the process right now, is how to request test polis. So there's currently a faucet that you can request some test polis to start creating some validators, to start messing with the wallet, whatever you want to do. So I think with that said, we should get started.
This is your chance to actually experiment with ETH 2.0 without it costing anything. And of course, it's not the entirely same thing, but it is a validator approach that starts just essentially now. And it's essentially for everybody.
Exactly. So essentially, we do have, let me clear this. You can download the binaries for Ogen. They are on the repository on the same Olympus protocol organization. You can download the binaries, add them to your path variable, and so on. And then you can start it with this comment. So I'm going to go real quick through these flags. So we want to enable the RPC interface for the wallet, the proxy. This exposes kind of like an HTTP access for the RPC commands. We also have the RPC keystore because we want to be able to create and store validator keys and information to deploy them. And we finally have this one that's, I think it's optional, and I recommend it to most people, that exposes kind of like a web interface dashboard so that you can see if your node is correctly synced and so on. So I'm going to start the Ogen instance. It will start syncing to the main chain. And then in another tab, I can open, if I hit Ogen help, help, we can see that all of the flags and the commands available. For this explanation, I'm going to use the console right now. And we are into the Ogen console. So this is the main point where we can start creating the wallets, to start creating validators and so on. So it shows us kind of a list of auto-completion suggestions. Then if we just input the command, we know what we did wrong and we can continue. So if I want to create a wallet, let's call it Test Blockchain Center. And I have to select a password. So for now, I'm going to use the password. So of course, I discourage this use. And I have no trouble showing you right now the private keys because this is only a test wallet. I do not plan or intend to use this. And you can see how when you create a wallet, you get the mnemonic phrase that is related to that wallet. It's important to remember that the password that you choose over here will act as a 25th word for your mnemonic phrase. So keep that in mind. And instantly you get your account, and it's stored in the keychain with this name, right? So if I hit the command list wallets, I can see every single wallet that I have created on this device. If I want to start using a wallet, I can select Open Wallet. I would select the Miami Blockchain Week. Miami Blockchain Week, and the password was Miami for that one. And it tells me that I have opened successfully. So if I get the balance, I have already requested like a 1001 test Polis for this account. So it's as easy as this. I think my partner Hans is about to send me some coins. So
yeah, let me just send you some. I'm just going to do that right now. And they should be on their way. So you should see some more coming shortly there.
Perfect. So, I think they arrived.
There you go. It's that fast.
Perfect.
So tell a little bit about the block time.
Yeah, the block time is around 30 seconds. I mean, it's always 30 seconds. The proof of stake mechanism with Casper ensures that every block is always created every 30 seconds. So there's never waiting like weird times to getting transactions to confirm. We think that's actually quite great. And yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, this is how you get started with a wallet. You have some balance and so on. But let's say you want to start creating a validator. So there's this generate keys command. With a wallet open, you can tell him how many keys for validators you want to create. I'm going to create 5. So it returns me the 5 keys. And I don't remember the get validator. Get validators command. Right now it shows me that I have currently no validators created on this interface. So the next thing I can do is like real quick this command, start validator, paste one of the keys that I got earlier, and it will start showing me. I think it needs to get, it needs to get confirmed, and then it will start the validator. So essentially what a validator does is it logs 100 T-Polis of your balance and instantly starts your validator. So as soon as it gets confirmed on the network at the next epoch, it will start contributing to securing the network, to voting for blocks, and to give you rewards for doing so. So creating a validator is quite easy. Hans, do you have anything to say regarding this?
Yeah, you see that this actually works really quickly, and the validators start in essentially a very short time. And in about 5 block times, they will become completely active in the network. And from that moment on, they participate in securing the blockchain by casting their votes. Now, if those validators, if for whatever reason you try to influence that voting principle in a malicious way, your balance that you have in this validator will actually become slashed a little bit. So there's an actual cost to attacks that happen on this network. And that is a better way to secure a network because of the actual cost involved in such a thing. Now, the only way that you get slashed is by doing actual bad things. And we've tested the network for many sorts of situations that can occur. It's only when you actually really want something bad that you get slashed.
Correct. So if I forget what my account is, I can use this command, get account, and you get the account that you use. For example, if I wanted to send anyone some transaction, I would need to add their account in this way and select the amount, and the transaction will be created. So this is what Hans did on his end when he sent me some coins. Something that I want to add is that I think this is the same wallet that I created. Maybe, okay. So we use the BIP39 standard. So every wallet that you create on the Ogen instance is able to be created on the Obol wallet. So you will just need to import the wallet, select the language, input your mnemonic key here, and after you input your mnemonic, it will ask for your password. And if you want to have the same wallet that you had in here, you will have to input the same password that you used. So that creates the same wallet. You are able to sending transactions from here to receiving, creating receiving addresses. And you can also, once you have validators, they will show up here. So I think
it works with the exact same very well-known seed phrases. So that way, it's very easy to make a backup of your wallet.
Yeah. So another thing that you can easily do is with this account, if you want to get started playing with this, we have a Discord. We currently have a Discord channel where you can request some coins. So I'm going to open Discord here for a bit so I can show you the process. So I'm going to go to Olympus request coins. You can very easily, oh, I forgot, T-Polis, yeah, and paste your address, and the bot will send you some coins. Right now, the bot is telling me to go fund myself elsewhere because I already requested some coins today, and it has a limit
of 1. To break it.
Yeah, so it's limited to 1,000 T-Polis per day, but you can request as much as you want. There's no limit other than that, and that would be enough to get you started with a new chain. With some T-Polis.
You can run as many as 10 validators from that right away. So that's a fun thing to get started with this.
So another thing is that the same things that we did over the RPC console here can be done over HTTP. So this enables you to use any language that you want to interact with your node. I want to say here we have in the. I think I missed that. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So If you download
Go ahead.
the Ogen repository under the API proto folder, there's like the documentation for the HTTP documentation for the RPC commands. So if you have any doubt, please check this resource. The documentation that's linked on the repository also works for this purpose. And the thing is that we would just want to show you that the same commands work. So here's the one that opens the wallet. Here I have that it was opened successfully. If I want to generate some validator keys, here I have them. If I want to get the validator list for all of the validators in the network, which currently are over 1,500, I can do that as well. And pretty much every single command that's listed here, account validators, here they are. So pretty much every command that's listed in there works both on the RPC console and over HTTP. And you can start building some services using the HTTP interface for this.
Yeah, essentially any language that supports curl, even like archaic stuff like PHP, can very easily interface. Just do a post or a get to your local host, port 8081, with any of those commands that Lewis has just shown. And you're just off to the races. You can do anything. So I encourage everybody to explore all those commands and just play around with this thing. It's really easy. It's real fun. I've personally built a little flooding system to just do some transaction testing. I have not been able to flood the chain just because of lack of processing power on my VPS. So it's really powerful. The thing is able to cope with lots, and I encourage you, try to break this thing. That'd be very helpful for us.
Amazing. And I think the last thing that we wanted to show you today, guys, it's a little bit, it involves, okay, so far the methods that we have shown you to interact with the node require you to set up your own node, and maybe you don't want to do that or don't know how to do that. We encourage you to read the docs, and it's quite easy to set up a node, especially using the Docker containers. But for those of you that do not want to do that, we have some public nodes that you can consult. So these are both the explorer.olympus.tech, well, Oli. It's currently syncing, so we are at around block 40,000, but it will take some time to sync. But in the meantime, you can start using this other one, which is the indexer, indexer.oli.tech. And here is a GraphQL kind of playground that you can use to design queries, to request information from the nodes. And this is quite easy to integrate with modern applications, with JavaScript, with if you want to develop for iOS, for Android. This is a very cool framework that allows you to request only the information that you need. So you can, for example, let's say I just want to get the block height and hash, and everything else, it's not important because I'm showing like a very condensed card that only shows the time slot. So I can modify the query, and I can request and receive only the information that I need from the blockchain without having to deal with large responses that are in JSON format. So this is very cool. So you can this playground includes some documentation of some queries that you can try on the information that you may get out of them. So the documentation that we shared also includes a link to this specific playground where you can play with those that I have already created. But we believe that this is pretty cool, that it will allow blockchain development to
I think we're starting to run towards the end of the presentation, Lewis. We're starting to get out of time. So there's lots indeed to play with, and I encourage everybody to really take a close look at this. There's big plans. One of the things that we're looking at is going to implement a Ethereum virtual machine, so we can run Solidity compatible smart contracts on this, set up entire DeFi environments, and all of that cool stuff. And you can already start playing with this stuff because the testnet is 100% compatible with the mainnet. So we're very close to launching the mainnet officially and building everything on testnet so you can rapidly deploy it on mainnet.
That's correct. So this is this has been pretty much the technology that we think that will help you to get started with the chain. We really hope that you enjoyed it and that you are interested in exploring this by yourself. We believe that there's some pretty great things that can be built with this. So yeah, I'm gonna return very briefly to the presentation. Okay, so here's like a small roadmap for Olympus that we have right now. So we are targeting a Q1 release for Olympus. Of course, we are still working on the concepts of hardware wallet support and fixing the things that were found by the audit. So we are pretty close to achieving that status, and by the end of Q1, the Olympus mainnet should be launched. And then after that, we are planning on adding token support on Olympus. And of course, by the end of the year, we will have like the support for those tokens on mainnet. So this is quite. I went through that pretty quickly. If you have any doubts, please feel free to join our communities on Discord. The repository that I linked to earlier has all of the links that you need to get started with the project and to join the community. And we will be happy to help you on our Twitter accounts and everywhere that you may wish to contact us. So I guess that's all. Thank you from my side. Have an amazing hackathon. And Hans, you want to say something?
Yeah, thank you all for joining us with this, and I'm very excited about all the options and possibilities. We don't every day see something get developed completely new from scratch. I'm very excited about it, and I'm looking forward to all the beautiful things that we're going to build with this.
Amazing. So thank you guys, and see you. Hopefully I'll see you in our community.